So the last tier in our link structure is tier 3. Now tier 3 linking is actually the easiest one to do, and it's the one that, if we roll back to 5-10 years ago, would have been tier 1 for most SEOs, right? When we look at the Black Hat portfolio, this is how people used to get ranked before Google introduced a panda or penguin. Now tier 3 still works, and I don't want anybody to tell you otherwise. Tier 3 links are actually still super valuable. They're the type of links that are super accessible to get, and they're the type of links that are actually going to bolster this entire system and make it a lot more powerful than it would be if it was just tier 2 and tier 1 alone. Now we can use tons of different assets to do this. We can use blog commenting. We can use mass article distribution of spun content and content spinners. We can build out profile links. We can build out Web 2.0 site submissions, social bookmarking, PDF submissions, wiki sites, RSS feed submissions. No interaction with other webmasters, using all tools, using all assets that are available to you today with tools that are available to you today. You can do this manually, or you can automate this with tools that are out there right now. Now, tier 3 links, again, are all about the numbers. You want to use tools to automate this, and the value of tier 3 comes in the same way the value at tier 2 came in for tier 1. The point of tier 3 links is to point to tier 2 links. Tier 3 links focus on getting tier 2 links indexed, noticed, and more valuable. If a tier 2 link becomes more valuable, it's more valuable to the tier 1 link. If the tier 1 link becomes more valuable, it pushes weight down to my main site. This becomes quantity over quality, right? You want to assure that you're varying your anchor text just like you were in all of the other scenarios, and you want to introduce tactics to make sure that tier 3 gets indexed, and that's where this tends to vary. Since a lot of these linking schemes tend to be beaten over the past couple of years, it's very easy to build tons of links at tier 3. It tends to be very difficult for people to get those links indexed. And that's where services like LinkPipeline come in. The beauty of a service like LinkPipeline is that it actually automates the process of getting your link indexed for you. Now, LinkPipeline is one of those services that I use on a regular basis, and I love it because of its simplicity. A lot of these types of services are really complicated. Now, I talked about actually building out your resources in these Excel files, right? Your tier 1, your tier 2, your tier 3 links. As you start to build these lists out in Excel, go to LinkPipeline and actually just add them here. Here's how it works. It's actually really simple. You're going to put in a URL that you pull from your tier 1 or from your tier 2 or tier 3 links, right? And you want to make sure that these get indexed and stay indexed. So you simply put in that entire list, copy, paste from Excel, put it in here, and just hit submit. And basically what's going to happen is that LinkPipeline is actually going to do all of the work for you. It's going to put it into its indexing engine to make sure that Google goes, finds that URL, and gets it indexed. An indexed URL can pass rank. A non-indexed URL is going to do absolutely nothing for you. So making sure that at the very least your tier 3 URLs have been indexed or are keeping indexing up using tools like LinkPipeline are super important. This is one that I really value and one that I use on a regular basis, and I would highly suggest all of you who are building out tiers of links like we are here to look into a service like this. Now, as we've gone through this, we're actually at the end point here. We're finalizing things for our tier 3 links. We want to pull those links and we want to create and submit RSS feeds for them. There's tools out there to do this. Some of them are free, some of them are really easy. Personally, I don't actually do that. I use tools like Backlinkbeast, which I'll talk about in a minute, to actually create all my tier 3 links for me. I also pull all of these links in tier 3 and I submit them to services like LinkPipeline for indexing. I ping those links as well for indexing, and then I'll rinse and I'll repeat these for new sites and new keywords. This process is super simple, especially when you get to tier 3. The work tends to be at the front end, which is why we established a service like SEO Buffer to actually go out and build that front end for you, going from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3. But a combination of tools like manual work at tier 1, buy domains, target keywords, get content, build out all those niche sites at tier 1. Tier 2, do the same exact thing, send those to tier 1. Tier 3, get your hands on services like LinkPipeline and Backlinkbeast, build out that entire tier 3 yourself and pump it down to tier 2, and you're going to be good to go. Because the reality is that once you're here, all you really need to do, build it, maintain it, keep it going, right? Keep building new tier 1s, keep building new tier 2s, keep building new tier 3s, and monitor your progress, right? Because as I said, from a competitive standpoint, not every single keyword is going to require tons of work and not going to require you to build out these massive networks. Some may be 5 tier 1 sites and then nesting up from there in 2 and 3. Some may be only a couple, right? So you have to actually evaluate it on a keyword by keyword basis and actually put it out there and see what works. But for the most part, this is exactly what we do to establish the types of results that we showed you earlier. Now, the beauty of it is that a lot of these types of services can be automated, and you can automate this entire process and still remain safe and clean from Google, which I'll talk about in a minute.